ICE just arrested another TikTok influencer while she was live streaming in Los Angeles.
Lady Tatiana Mafla Martinez, que es conocida en redes sociales como Tatiana Martinez, es una influencer colombiana que ganó notoriedad en TikTok entre miembros de las comunidades migrantes hispanohablantes en Estados Unidos con reportes sobre operativos migratorios. Terminó detenida hace 2 semanas por el ICE, que es el Servicio de Migración y Control.
Hey, Tatiana, bring that ass to the front. Did you really think that ICE agents and the federal government was just going to allow you to spew your hatred and obstruct ICE agents by doxing them? No, you should have known better. I mean, because if there's anything you should know about ICE, is they are great at tracking people. They are great at tracking criminals. You know, that's what you are. How does it feel now to have your 3 hots in a cot? Now you got a one-way ticket to Alligator Alcatraz. And you can tell us all how the ride is. And let this be a lesson to all of you who want to try to put ICE agents in harm's way by trying to out their personal information and get them harmed. That is a crime. You're committing a crime. And unlike the last 4 years of the Biden administration, this administration is big on law and order. And I'm going to put it point blank plain. We ain't having that shit.
I'm referring to Tatiana Martinez, who is a Colombian citizen who was illegally in the United States living in Los Angeles. She gained her following by always disclosing where ICE raids were happening and began to dox ICE agents. And many of her content was filled with these slurs towards ICE agents, encouraging all of her viewers to not only confront ICE agents, but even on occasion to incite violence towards them. And what no left-wing media outlet is telling you is what led up to her being arrested and ultimately dragged out of her Tesla. While she was live streaming, she was mocking, making fun of the ICE agents that were chasing her. When she finally got confronted in that little garage-style structure, she began to cry wolf, saying that I'm going to go out freely, just let me do what I got to do. When you're about to be arrested, they don't care what you want to do. They don't care that you want to end your life. What this story proves is that what goes around comes around. So many of these influencers and so many people that are doxing ICE agents and inciting violence to people that are simply trying to make this country a better place for U.S. citizens are getting exactly what they deserve. She is now not only being detained, but ultimately, allegedly, she is going to be deported back to her home country, and I couldn't be happier. But let me know what you think in the comment section, and don't forget to hit that follow button for your daily updates.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. Thank you so much for clicking on this episode. I really do appreciate your love and support on this channel. So I came across this video. There was this woman by the name Tatiana Martinez, who is of, the Hispanic community, was arrested by ICE. And what she's been doing, she's been going around exposing ICE police officers or ICE agents with their identifications and places where they are going around. And it's crazy because at first when I saw her videos, I thought she's a citizen or legally living in the United States of America, only to find out that she's been living there illegally. Yes. And now she's been arrested. You know what's been happening with the, mass deportation and ICE agents detaining illegal immigrants in the United States of America. And there is one thing about following the law, and there is another thing thinking that you're above the law. And you're thinking that as an illegal immigrant, you're protected by, U.S. Constitution. But people are actually finding out the hardest way. And people are actually finding it out that they're not protected, and still mass deportation are still taking place and mass detention of illegal immigrants. And this woman is the latest to, F around and find out, because she thought that she can do this. She was breaking the law, and now she's been arrested or detained by ICE agents. I want us to watch these videos together, guys. Every clip and every stitch that you'll be seeing on our today's episode, credits belongs to the original creators of these videos that you see on the screens. So let's just dive right ahead and we'll come back with more commentary.
Tatiana, come to the front, please. Did you really believe that you was gonna expose these ICE agents, give out all their personal information, and get away with it? These are federal agents. Just as you have access to their information, they have way more access to yours. You can't come to somebody else's country and tell them how to run it. You definitely can't come to somebody else's country and encourage people to attack, stalk, and harass federal agents for trying to do their job. Your actions are the reasons why they are trying to deport these criminals. You are a criminal. Do you see how fast you got located? These agents are not playing with you. And I know you thought you was untouchable and wouldn't be found so fast. However, if it's one thing these federal agents are known for, it's definitely tracking somebody down and finding them. Tatiana, escúchame. No juegas con agentes federales. Ya tú sabes.
You know, the amount of blatant hatred and racism that I get from the Hispanic community from my post in regards to Tatiana Martinez, you know, the criminal who was arrested for breaking the law and also doxing ICE agents. I just don't get it. I mean, are you sending the hatred because we're applauding ICE arresting a criminal, or you're sending hatred because you don't like someone of my persuasion stating the obvious? And it's weird that you always make comments like, yes, after the Mexicans, you're next, as if, you know, black people can be deported. I'm talking about Americans. Then it's followed by racist comments and insults posted on my account and in my inbox. But I can't help but notice that these are liberals. These are liberals. The party of tolerance and racial equality and love everybody, they don't like when you speak about criminals. I mean, here you have a person who entered the country illegally, clearly hates the foundation of this nation and its president, and then they go a step further by putting out personal information of federal agents, knowing that a certain segment of the public despise these agents because they've been fed propaganda and misinformation. What do you think will happen to these agents if their personal information is put out there? So why are you sympathetic to someone like that? They're criminals. And to my Hispanic brothers and sisters, you always claim black and brown unity, but when someone of my persuasion brings up some facts about you guys, you get very personal. It's almost like the racism was there in you all along, like you've always felt this way. You know, I find it real strange that in the wake of this Maduro and Venezuela thing, that I'm getting a lot of hate from the brown community. And it's strange to me because the brown community is now wanting the black community to join with them in supporting people like Maduro or people like the Martinez lady, you know, that got deported or arrested for doxing ICE agents, you know, things like that. And it's just weird to me. Where were you guys when we're shooting each other in our neighborhoods and unaliving each other? I mean, where are you guys? You're nowhere around. I know what you are doing. You're sitting at your dinner table talking about how you do not want your daughters or sons to be with us. That's what you're doing. So I find it very hypocritical that you would come to my page and try to bash me for standing with my government, my president, my people, who are the American people. I don't go with color. That's what you don't understand. And to that particular content creator who keeps coming to my page saying, but you're black, I know what I am. It's obvious. But what I'm not going to claim is a color. I claim a country first. Remember that. It's called loyalty.
Yeah, guys, so that is what's happening, and you've all seen what has been happening with, the mass deportation. And sometimes it's actually hard to feel sorry for some people. I mean, you're actually there illegally, and you're coming on social media, and just because you have people following or you have a big following, you think that those people will come out to protect and protest for you to be, not to be arrested or to be released when you are there illegally. You came to the country illegally. You're breaking the law of the country. And leave alone that you feel like you're above the law to go on ahead and putting people's personal informations or identity out here. And to make the matters worse, not just a common citizen, but ICE agents. And you thought that there will now be consequences. You made this choice, and always remember, choices have consequences. Yes, I'm not happy that people are being deported. I'm not happy that people are being detained, including children. But you also have to learn that you have to follow the law. You are in a country illegally, but you also have to understand that you have to follow the law. When you are in a country illegally, you don't have any papers. Of course, there are consequences. There are consequences of the choice that you made to cross the border illegally. And in as much as no one is supporting this, in as much as no one is happy that these kids are being deported and families are being separated, you also have to follow the law of the country. Now you're coming and thinking that now social media is there, you're going to create videos and expose ICE agents, and you're sitting there thinking that you'll not face any consequences. It's just so crazy. And the saddest part about all this is that your own community, the Hispanic community, was warned not to go and vote against their own self-best interest. But when Black people were actually warning them, most of them called them woke, most of them called them words, most of them were against it, and they still went on ahead and voted for this. Like Latino men, they voted in large numbers for the new administration, for their people to be deported, for families to be separated, for kids to be separated from their mothers. And now this is happening. And maybe they thought because places like farms and construction sites actually depend on illegal workforce, they may not get deported. But it seems like the new administration was ready to lose just for them to make sure that they don't have illegal immigrants in the country. And if people have to come to the United States of America, they have to do it the right way. And another thing, we've seen so many of, Hispanic celebrities, even musicians, even rappers during the campaigns out there supporting the new administration. There was even that group and that woman who was the head of Latinos for Trump. And now these people are nowhere to be found when the community is actually suffering. And so many of these people that were actually the leaders of these groups, Hispanic for Trump, Latinos for Trump, and who were actually asking people and holding these events to support Trump during the campaigns and during the elections. They even came out with songs. Most of them are actually there legally. And some people from the Hispanic community were like, we want them to go back and come the legal way that, we did. And most people were angry at the Black community because they were not supporting them or not supporting them of what's happening to their community. But Black community have nothing to do with the mass deportation. They have nothing to do with what's happening, with people being deported, with people being detained. They have nothing to do with it. As a matter of fact, they tried to save you all on that voting day on November 5th. But a big percent from the Hispanic community, they wanted you to go back to your countries and come back the legal way. Or most of them maybe felt like you're taking their jobs away. Or most of them felt like you are getting benefits from the taxes that they're actually paying, and they didn't want that. So yeah, it's quite sad that this is happening. It's quite sad that people are being deported. But at the end of the day, you have to follow the laws and the rules of a country. At the end of the day, you cannot just go out there filming people who are trying to do their jobs and post it on social media, expose them on social media, while you yourself are there illegally. It's crazy. That is what people are saying. Allegedly, she's an illegal immigrant and she's been doing this, and she's been having people following her and supporting what she's actually, doing, and trying to instigate people not to, follow whatever ICE is doing and, call ICE out. And, she was even using slurs towards these ICE agents, and she thought that there will not be any consequences. It's crazy, guys. I don't know what you all think, but now she was arrested from her home, and I hope that other people are actually doing this. You have to know that there are gonna be consequences. Yes, you make choices that will always have consequences. Just like a big number of the Hispanic community made choices to vote for the new administration, and now the community is facing the consequences of their votes. Thank you so much for watching up to this part. Kindly consider subscribing to this channel if you haven't, and until the next episode, bye.